Want to stay in the know about what's really happening with your government? Then tune in to Focus on Government and Development every other Monday at 7 p.m. Your source for updates on government initiatives and the current affairs shaping our nation. From major infrastructure development to pressing national issues, Focus on Government and Development will bring you up close with the decision makers. Exclusive interviews and in-depth discussions about what matters to you most. We'll go behind the headlines and bring you the real deal. Focus on Government and Development every other Monday, 7 p.m. on this radio station. Want to stay in the know about what's really happening with your government? Then tune in to Focus on Government and Development every other Monday at 7 p.m. Your source for updates on government initiatives and the current affairs shaping our nation. From major infrastructure development to pressing national issues, Focus on Government and Development will bring you up close with the decision makers. Exclusive interviews and in-depth discussions about what matters to you most. We'll go behind the headlines and bring you the real deal. Focus on Government and Development every other Monday, 7 p.m. on this radio station. Good evening and welcome to all of you tuned in. This is Focus on Government and Development. My name is Dion Duran-Smith, the Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister. Our program is designed to bring you the latest in government information and developments. We speak with the policymakers, the senior officers, the public officers across the service, those taking care of business, the business of government and of the state, the people taking care of your business. We are here every other Monday, broadcasting live from the studios of DBS Radio. We're also live on Cairo FM. At 8 p.m., you can catch us again on Q95 FM radio. Welcome to those of you tuned in via our various social media platforms. This is a focus on government and development. Later in the program, we'll open up the lines to take your calls. You can call us at 1-800-327-448-3281 or 448-3279. This evening, our focus is on the work being done by the dynamic folks over at the Discover Dominica Authority. They are working every day to keep positioning Dominica as the premier tourism destination in the Caribbean, and I dare say the world. This evening, we were due to have with us the Festivals and Events Manager at DDA, Miss Ayodele Andrew. She is unwell and unable to be with us. But I am here with the Chief Executive Director of the Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. Marva, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Dion. Good evening to the listeners of DBS Radio, Kyrie FM Radio, and of course Q95.
We're so happy to have you here with us. It occurred to me earlier that since you took up this position, I've not had the opportunity to interview you, so I'm very happy to have you here this evening.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Let's begin by talking about our most recent success coming out of the Independence season, the World Creole Music Festival. We've already heard about the numbers of visitors during the period. Impressive numbers. Yes. Marva, as DDA CEO, how do you assess the success of the just concluded festival?
Well, the World Creole Music Festival exceeded all expectations, Dion, and to refer back to the numbers, starting with the 9 days leading up to the World Creole Music Festival, we recorded approximately 10,540 stayover arrivals, and that's the highest on record ever in terms of putting on the World Creole Music Festival, the highest in the 25 years. And it also represented a 48% increase in comparison to 2024. So that in itself was a significant increase. And we can go a bit further in terms of analyzing the air and the sea arrivals. Air arrivals increased tremendously by 53%. So we moved to about 3,000 people coming in via air to over 4,600 people coming in, and over 4,000 people coming in via sea to 5,865 people coming in. And our success or determination of success can go a little bit further. So far, based on preliminary reports, we sold more tickets than the baseline year, which was 2019. So now we are at 16,000 plus in terms of ticket sale numbers. So that in itself is a determinant for us when we speak about the success. And, you know, in addition to that, we can add the feedback from the public as well, that to determine how successful the World Creole Music Festival was in 2025.
Yes, and that's a good segue because you talk about the hard numbers, and as I said, they're pretty impressive. Yes. But what about the excitement of the event? You know, the vibe, the energy. I use that word a lot during the festival that came out of the event. Talk to us about that feedback that you're getting.
The vibes came from the previous year when we announced 25 in 2025, and we said it's going to be a jubilee year. And the excitement went a little bit further when the dear Minister of Tourism emphasized that she wants a big festival, that festival has to really represent an event that reminisces, that speaks to the past 25 years, speaks to history, speaks to current, speaks to future. And, you know, all that went into the implementation, into the development of a powerful lineup, 45 acts, if I must say. And from the time we launched the lineup, and the key thing is answering the cries of the people. We looked a lot at lessons learned, and we ensured that we stuck to the understanding of how it is that people want the lineup presented and what are the different acts that they're looking for. And there was a mix, there was a melange for the old, for the young, for the in-between. And from the time that lineup was launched, the momentum was built even further, and it was maintained throughout, leading up to the 3 nights of the festival. So I mean, the people, the artists, they're the ones that actually make the festival. If people don't come to the festival, you cannot have a festival if you have no artists, if you have no stage. So it was just amazing to hear everybody. And you know when something is great when individuals are using your flyer. We saw hairdressers, hair braiders, people selling the clothing using the flyer to put out their own sales. We heard businesses using the 25 in 2025 to push their promotion. So when those types of things happen, you know the momentum is solid and you can already tell something amazing is coming.
Yeah. I don't like to shy away from things, and you mentioned the melange, you call it. But there are some critics who say that you're failing to capture the traditional aspect of the World Creole Festival, the Creole aspect. We do get some criticism about that. How do you respond to that?
The criticisms are welcome. I believe that admittedly over the years we would have faltered when it comes to the Francophonie Creole, I like to say, because if we have to go deep into the meaning of Creole, it's going to become a never-ending debate. But when we speak about the Creole, the essence upon which the World Creole Festival was built, when you speak to the people who were there before, I believe that this was represented immensely this year at the festival, and more so the representation from our local Creole producers was widespread. I mean, we had people like Gordon Henderson, we had Ophelia Marie, Midnight Groovers, we had Michael Henderson, who was there with Elisha Benoit, bringing back the reminiscing on the musica nous. Bouillon is part of our Creole as well, and Bouillon flourished throughout the 3 nights of the festival. We had the Young Ecstasy Band as well, adding to the local flair. We went back, we reminisced again, and we brought people like Gilles Fontaine and Linford John, and of course Halibut. So it was there in significant numbers from the local perspective. And then we brought in the new looks and Joey Duet Filet and Oswald and the Afrobeat artist as well. So when we did the analysis, about 50%, if not more, of the lineup represented the Creole that so makes our festival different from that of the others. And I've said it, I believe that our festival is significant. Our festival has an essence, like there is something that we can say, there's an ingredient in our festival that we can say is there and is representative of a unique identity, and that is the Creole. So the Creole should always be present in different forms, but it should form part of the World Creole Music Festival annually.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for that response. That's a pretty good breakdown.
Yeah.
I want to go back to what you were talking about earlier, those numbers. Every year we hear people saying, okay, all these visitors, yeah, the numbers, but what's the profit? Marva, put all of this into perspective. What does this festival mean for Dominica's tourism sector, for the economy? Who benefits?
First of all, when you look at the economic impact of the World Creole Music Festival, it is widespread. We would have done a few studies on the festival. The last one we did indicated that for every dollar invested in the World Creole Music Festival, there's a $9 circulation within the economy. As we speak, we're doing currently implementing another study using the last World Creole Music Festival, so we can see the growth level of the festival, how it contributes to the economy, what are the things we may need to work on to tap a little bit deeper into the economy. But for a government when a government invests massively in things like the World Korea Music Festival is because there is a rippling effect not only for the government but for the general public. So there's a number of individuals who benefit. We can start with the airlines, we can move to the hoteliers, we can talk about the taxi drivers, the people renting, the hair braiders, those selling the clothing, the vendors on the roadside, the restaurants. There's a number of individuals, the supermarkets who benefit from the World Korea Music Festival. So when we talk about benefits and the profits and the circulation of dollar in the economy, it is widespread. So the more people you have coming in for the World Korea Music Festival, for example, we see a 48% increase in attendance, the more circulation of dollars within the economy, and it's the from the lower level people to the middle class to the rich ones. Everybody benefits from the implementation of the festival.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I don't think people appreciate it as much, but the festival is a massive undertaking.
Yes.
With many, many moving parts. Give our listeners some insight into the kind of preparation that goes into pulling off such a major event.
The World Korea Music Festival is its own brand. So that brand it exists. But every festival you put on is a different project. And each project requires a project brief. It requires a creative identity. It requires a team and immense planning. And the planning starts with, I think it starts even before the implementation of the festival for that particular year. Because as event planners, the teams throughout the journey, you will see things that needed to be done better, and you already say, okay, we experienced this, we're going to do it better next year. And it's a lot. It starts with the full planning process. There's artist negotiations, there's vendor coordination, there's logistics involved, there's speaking about the safety, the staging, the lighting, the branding, speaking to stakeholders. It's a year-round effort, and once upon a time we used to say that we require at least 6 months to plan a festival, or even the World Korea Music Festival, but I think we require 12 months. So immediately after this festival, the team has already started working, and certain committees, special committees, are already being discussed so that we can tap into them and they can start planning, the lineup and the look and feel for the following year. So it's almost immediate. It takes a lot of attention to detail, and the bigger the festival, the more pressure, the more attention you have to pay to things like health, safety, and security, and coordination of logistics, and that is what we're currently experiencing with our World Korea Music Festival.
Yeah, as you talk about, it's growing. I heard people suggest this year that you need more space on the grounds. Is that something you already started to take seriously for next year? Little things like that, it's important.
Of course, thankfully we considered that this year. We have this original position for the stage, and we would have pushed it back 50 feet last year, the previous festival, and then we pushed it back an additional 50 feet, thankfully, because look at people that were at that festival. Like, people were on the main grounds, people were in the various VIPs, people were on the stands, and it was a lot. However, it's a good thing that we did that, because people said they were still comfortable. Like, there were lots of people there, but they were quite comfortable. So we do have to look at the whole trajectory when it comes to the setup and fitting in of certain spaces, because the festival, we do not intend for it to recede. The festival is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Yeah. And not only the festival, if we talk about the month of October, Dion, when we look at preliminary results, we had more than 14,000 stayover visitors coming into Dominica, and I wanted to insert that there quickly, because that economic impact for Dominica it's not only for the 9 days leading up to the World Korea Music Festival, it's for the entire month of October, where we saw a massive increase in stayover visitors coming in. So we expect those numbers to grow every year, especially in the month of October.
Yeah. I like to highlight people. It's actually my thing. I'm big on giving people their due credit, you know. So I wanted to talk about who is involved behind the scenes in bringing all of this together.
Let's start with the major sponsors.
Yeah.
I like to start with them. First, the government of Dominica. I mean, we cannot do, and which people should know that. People think that DDA is a standalone organization. DDA can be considered the creative arm. We make the recommendations, we do the reviews, we hand things on a platter to the government and we say, this is what we recommend, this is how we think we can achieve the numbers, this is what we need. So it all starts with the government of Dominica acceding to our requests, and of course everything is driven, the strategy, by the Ministry of Tourism, and we know our Minister of Tourism, she's very involved, which is a much needed involvement in the process, together with the Permanent Secretary. And then you have the Discover Dominica Authority, which are the implementing bodies. And I do not want to call anybody's name, I do not want to leave out anybody, but the Dominica Festivals Committee, the events part, they are the lead on the overall implementation. So we want to recognize Ayodele and her team. And there's the internal part of Ayodele's team, but there's the external team. Dion, you're part of that external team. Thank you very much. You've been managing the media for quite a number of years and being so patient and eloquent with that. We have a wide array of individuals, probably about 30 individuals who implement everything that is needed on the ground, from the stage, the sound, the lights, the technical aspect, the venue setup, putting down the matting, the forecourt. Like, there's a team of people. They are the drivers. They're the ones doing the surgeries, the surgery on the festival. And once that surgery is done well, then you create that perfect body for people to come in and flourish and enjoy themselves. There's the external parts as well. There's the special committee. For this festival, we would have engaged a special committee, including a few agents, local promoters, headed by Mr. Sobers Esprit. Sobers Esprit is the deputy chair of the DDA board, and they were the driving force behind the lineup that was presented, and even the look and feel and the tagline that was associated with the festival. And while I'm mentioning Sobers, we have to mention the Discover Dominica Board of Authorities. And extensive to that, again, you have a national committee. You have a group of individuals who come together to make sure not only the World Career Music Festival flourishes, but the independence itself, everything is flawless. And then you have the police, the fire services. Oh my, the police. Yeah. Somebody told me the other day, I find you work very well with the police. I said, that's years of relationship. You have to build a relationship, and the police are they're the ones who have to secure national events, and they take that very, very seriously. So thank you to them. You have the private security, which is headed by Pelham. You have Port, Customs, Immigration, DASPER, Express the Zeal, the airlines, local event promoters, even the private sector, the attendees. There's a number of individuals involved in the entire process, whether it's a little or whether in a big way, and we can highlight people like the cleaners who make sure that there's a perfect ambience during the festival. So there's the list can go on and on and on and on, but there's a massive group of individuals, volunteers and all, behind the implementation of the festival. And on behalf of all of them, on behalf of the DDA, we just want to tell them again, thank you so much for helping us put together this spectacle of an event.
Yeah. As we wind down our discussion on that particular aspect of the World Creole Music Festival, you mentioned that you've developed a relationship with the police over so many years, and I wanted to point out that you've really grown with the festival for over 20 years. I've been witness to it actually. So, in summary, are you satisfied with the growth of the event over the years? Where do you want to take it in conjunction with what you're hearing from your tourism minister? What is the vision, the objective for growing this festival?
Of course, we are quite satisfied. I am satisfied with the growth of the World Korea Music Festival. I can go back a few years. We can talk about 2018 when the attendees to the World Korea Music Festival across 3 nights would have been 8,000. We can go back to talk about other years when it would have been 12,000. A lot of people speak about 2019 when attendees across all 3 nights were about 25, 26,000. And then we've continued to grow, and this year we recorded attendees across 3 nights of over 42,000. And I just wanted to stick a pin in there. I saw this debate online, and from an event planning perspective, I think oftentimes we misunderstand what ticket sales are in terms of numbers and what attendees across 3 nights. The festival is 3 nights, so you can sell, let's say, 18,000 tickets, but you can have 18,000 times 3 attendees across 3 nights. I saw that was a question that was something being discussed and so on social media. So I really wanted to point out that event planning, tickets or attendees across 3 nights means every time that a ticket was scanned in the gates. So if a season ticket was scanned 3 times across the 3 nights, it represents 3 in terms of attendance. So I just wanted to put that out there. The World Korea Music Festival is now a major regional festival, and need I say it is the number 1 music festival in the Caribbean, and permit me to say the world. We saw the public sentiments. Like, I laughed so much, and I probably laughed at myself and my team, because we looked at each other 9 o'clock in the morning on let's say Sunday morning, and we said, aren't you all tired? And that is what the festival does. It gives you an adrenaline. And people were talking about the World Korea Music Festival like there were not so many negative comments as it relates to the duration. They were saying, oh my, Dominicans have adrenaline. Yeah. Like, if you're looking for a country to party at a festival, Dominica is the place to be. They party at the festival and they move to other events. But our goal ultimately is to enhance the Creole culture and the identity of the World Korea Music Festival. We intend always to improve on the product quality. We want to broaden our international reach, and we want to continue attracting top talent, because sometimes people say it is not wise to invite other genres of music to your festival, but other genres of music coming to your festival, especially from the international arena, is also a marketing strategy, because based on the personality that you bring into your festival, it brings attention from top tier media. Yeah. I mean, Bouillon had its moment this year. We were featured on Billboard magazine, and with the addition of specific artists to our lineup, the people from Billboard magazine, they actually came to the World Korea Music Festival to do some coverage. So these are the types of things that we're looking for. We still believe that the World Korea Music Festival has potential to attract thousands more of visitors to the Nature Isle. So we seek to improve upon it and to extend, that amazingness of our festival to the international arena. Mm-hmm.
You're tuned in to Focus on Government and Development. Our guest this evening is Marva Williams. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the Discover Dominica Authority. We've been talking the World Creole Music Festival held at the end of October. We're live on Cara FM and DBS Radio. Tune in at 8 o'clock on Q95 FM Radio. You can catch us there. Marva, let's switch focus to Destination Dominica and how we're presenting our island to the world. Since assuming the role of CEO, how would you describe the general focus of your department? How are you seeking to reposition, to continue positioning Dominica as that premier tourism destination?
The strategy for me has been that of continuing various processes which would have already been established. For example, Dominica is known as the nature island of the world, and that is something that is continued, and to implement new initiatives. So we've been really focused on strengthening the identity of Dominica as the nature island and presenting an island, a destination that is rooted in authenticity, in wellness, in culture, and meaningful connection. And we've built our strategy, and we continue to build our strategy on quality experiences, on targeted marketing, because I tell people that Dominica is not a free-for-all. You have to really be in love with nature, in touch with nature, a protector of the environment. These are the quality of individuals that we look for to come to Dominica. And extensive to that, we've been focused on strengthening our partnerships with airlines, with other stakeholders like the hoteliers, DHTA, and digital has been one of the main focus for me, I think, from the onset when I entered into Discover Dominica. The thing that constantly was on my mind is digital. Marva, there are 70 billion people, if not more, in the world. I hope I got that number correct. 70% of these individuals have a handset in their hand. They're always on social media. They're looking for something, whether it is nature, whether it's a hotel, whether they're Googling for some product. And that is an opportunity to have that always on marketing component about the destination. So that in itself is a work in progress. I think based on the plans that we've started, we've done a great job in terms of presenting the destination in that light, and then we seek to continue positioning our brand as the nature island and actually walking the nature island walk.
Yeah. I noticed, I think over the weekend, you posted that you had been to London, to Germany, to France, I think in 1 week, and now you're back on the nature island. But I thought I'd ask you to be a little bit more specific about some of the campaigns you've undertaken, that the DDA has undertaken in the past year or so, for example, and the success level you've had with these.
We've implemented, since I've been there, about two campaigns. We did a winter campaign last year from October going all the way to March, and then we did a summer campaign, and we used both campaigns as a lesson learned. We used it to strengthen the other one. The summer campaign was one of my favorites. We'll talk about my new favorite now, where it spoke about cool escapes, and it really presented Dominica from an adventure perspective, all the things you could do in Dominica over the summer, whether it's river tubing, horseback riding in the sea, or of the sort. And the summer campaign, from a digital perspective, we found it very, very favorable. We were able to meet over 3 million individuals in really, really targeted markets in the US. And what we did with our investment was to go after markets that didn't know that Dominica existed. And we saw the movement in terms of reach, with around 70,000 of these people actually going to the website and spending about 3 minutes on the website. And extensive to that campaign, which had a certain level of awareness and engagement in it, it created an excitement within the Caribbean and in certain places like London, where people were able to view the campaign. Because one of the things that were being said is that they're seeing Dominica in a different light. So we took that momentum, we took the lessons learned, and here we are now with the recently launched destination campaign. If you want me to go right into that one,
Talk to us about that. The what do you call it? The love in nature.
the nature of love.
Nature of love. Nature of love
the
campaign.
the nature of love campaign. So the nature of love campaign is really implemented under the Romance pillar of tourism. So Dominica has 7 pillars of tourism. We have aqua, which is really water-based activities, whether diving, river tubing, kayaking. We have agro, which it speaks to agriculture, farm to table, eating what we grow. We have the Kalinago, which is a focus. We have the entertainment as well. We have romance and a few others, and we really wanted to empower the romance aspect of our pillars of tourism. And I remember when we started to speak about the nature of love campaign, I think some individuals thought that we were inviting people we were only targeting couples and inviting lovers and so to come to Dominica. But the nature of love campaign is more than that, and the nature of love campaign really embodies what the nature island represents and what sustainability represents for us as a destination. So it falls under 4 pillars mainly. If you are a lover of nature, if you are a person into untouched landscapes, and then you have a love, you want to experience massive waterfalls, and you love hiking, so you want to hike one of our 14 trails, and you're just generally into eco adventures, the Nature of Love campaign is for you. If you love culture, if you're into music, you're into good food, you love traditions like that of the Kalinago and so on, then the Nature of Love campaign is for you. If you love community, you just want to be among a group of friendly individuals, warm individuals with genuine hospitality. Dominica is known as one of the friendliest islands, then the Nature of Love is for you. And if you are a lover of wellness, you want to breathe fresh air, you want to take a soak in the sulfur springs, you want to feel rejuvenated, you're into serenity, you're into spas, and so then the Nature of Love campaign is for you. And of course, if you just want to romance in nature with your partner, definitely any one of those pillars can entice that for you. So this campaign is a year-long campaign. It's going to help us to resonate with regional and international audiences. We want to strengthen Dominica's emotional brand connection, because when we say we are the nature island, I recently told the people in Germany, France and London, and when we showed them the videos, we told them this is what we're talking about when we say that we're the nature island. We actually have the elements of nature, the trees, the waterfalls, the spas, the beautiful underwater, the sperm whales. It's a series of things. So we're looking forward to building on the momentum of that campaign, and we want our local people to help us spread the word of the Dominica Nature Island, the Nature of Love campaign, and invite your friends, invite families to come and experience something unique. Because one of my takeaways from my recent trip and the markets that we went to, these are nurture markets. Nurture markets meaning that they have potential, quite a bit of potential. We do have people coming in from France, Germany, London. A lot of these people, they're really into nature. They will stay in a destination for about 2 to 3 weeks, and because we do not have direct access from those locations, the process for getting into Dominica, we say, because they endure that process of getting into an island, these people are true lovers of nature. So they are our nurture markets, and they were so amazed by the videos that they were seeing. They couldn't believe it, and I told them this we did not create that for you. It's not AI generated. Everything that you're seeing, the farm to table, the waterfalls, the forest, the green, everything is real, and we're looking forward to them selling that aspect of Dominica and getting people to experience it. So we're inviting everybody to help us spread the word. This is a massive undertaking, well received, and we look forward to really building on the momentum in some of our source markets like North America and even in the Caribbean.
Yes, this concept of the nurture markets, it's interesting and it's
Yeah.
new to me,
Yeah.
which made me think about already well-established source markets. How are you
Yes.
working with those? How are you targeting those?
Of course. So our primary markets are those we have direct access to. So we know we have direct flights from New York, New Jersey, the tri-state area. We have direct flights from Miami. We have direct flights from Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Martin. So these are our primary markets. We look at the Caribbean as the low hanging fruits, and these are the areas that we will first and foremost really target, or are targeting when it comes to the campaign. As we speak, the North American market is our top market in terms of stayover arrivals. That is followed by the French West Indies and the English speaking Caribbean. But we want more people to come to our destination. We want to report the wonderful numbers that we reported in October. We want to report it every month. So it's going to be a combination of awareness for us and enticing, getting people to take a call to action from those primary source markets and actually book a flight and come to Dominica.
You mentioned Barbados. Recently, we learned that you signed a memorandum of understanding with that island to collaborate in terms of tourism promotion. Tell us a little bit more about
Yes. So that memorandum of understanding is something that we should be proud of, and I look forward to my team working with the team from Barbados to see it flourish. So it is bent on multi-destination tourism. I can speak from a CTO level, the Caribbean Tourism Organization. Recently, we launched the Reimagine initiative for the Caribbean, where the intention is to speak about one Caribbean, one sea, one voice. And being able to actually sign a memorandum of understanding with Barbados is two destinations actually putting plans in place to not just say that we're one Caribbean, but to implement processes that will actually show. So there's a number of things that we're hoping to happen under that memorandum of understanding. Barbados is a country we can look at and say they have history when it comes to tourism. I call them the grandparents of tourism. However, Dominica is a model for sustainability, and they too want to learn from us. So we are going to share resources. We are into tourism, but we have two different types of products. We would like to piggyback on their successes. We want to learn from them when it comes to training. We're really looking at targeting places like London, for example, because as we speak, we do have flights coming in on British Airways to Barbados, and you can take Inter-Caribbean Airways to Dominica. You can actually get to Dominica one day, seamless experience, because your bag also gets to Dominica directly. So we want to piggyback on those things and use their successes to mean our success as well, and giving one visitor two different types of tourism experiences.
All right. Earlier, just a few minutes ago, we spoke again about numbers and the numbers of visitors, and we've started the cruise season. So I wanted to devote a little bit of time to that, to talk about how has that been progressing so far, but more so, what do we expect in terms of this year's cruise season in terms of the numbers?
Yeah. So based on our estimation, we're hoping to welcome over 400,000 passengers this year, based on the number of calls we have. So far, we have welcomed a little over 23,000 passengers for that particular cruise season. We expect those numbers to grow. I mean, the cruise season recently opened sometime in October, so we expect those numbers to grow significantly. We also have some inaugurals. We've had, I believe, 2 or 3 inaugural calls. That's new ships coming into Dominica. We expect to have a few more for the season, and we're looking to have an extended season beyond the normal period. Obviously, those updates will be provided, but we anticipate that we'll have a great season. I mean, last year was amazing for us. We had an increase in terms of the number of cruise passengers coming in. We know that more than 60% of the cruise passengers who came in last season, they went on tours, they experienced the island. We're hoping to have 90% of passengers for this season coming in and experiencing the island and just making sure that everybody has a great time. We do have some initiatives we want to put in place. So certain aspects of the Nature of Love campaign will be attributed to the cruise passengers as well. So we're excited to hopefully give one passenger an opportunity to win an all-expense paid trip to Dominica under the Nature of Love campaign, and getting them to stay in Dominica a bit more, and probably that is going to translate to at least 200-300 more people coming into the nature island. So we're looking to tie in all the aspects. It's not easy. It is a work in progress when it comes to cruise tourism, but the numbers are reflecting progress, and we look forward to maintaining that progress.
And I just want to note that there's a lot more we could talk about when it comes to cruise tourism, and we'll do that on another program. For example, earlier on we were talking about the NICE initiative, NISC, which is directly linked to that and other related matters. But we'll get to that eventually. Sure. It's just about 10 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock. Our program ends at 8. This is your opportunity to interact directly with the CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. The numbers to call 1-800-327-448-3281, 448-3279, or 305-432-9744. That's the international number. Want to stay in the know about what's really happening with your government? Then tune in to Focus on Government and Development every other Monday at 7 p.m. Your source for updates on government initiatives and the current affairs shaping our nation. From major infrastructure development to pressing national issues, Focus on Government and Development will bring you up close with the decision makers. Exclusive interviews and in-depth discussions about what matters to you most. We'll go behind the headlines and bring you the real deal. Focus on Government and Development every other Monday, 7 p.m. on this radio station. So, Marva, in the time we have left, I wanted to look ahead, and we're switching focus again. We're from the strictly promotional aspect of the Discover Dominica Authority and the tourism product, and directly on Carnival. I know, for example, that you have begun preparations for Carnival, and you're planning the launch very soon.
Indeed, we are putting plans in place for the launch of Dominica's Carnival. So, to our carnival lovers, stay tuned. This week we have lots of surprises coming in for you. We would have started building momentum on the carnival before the implementation of the World Choral Music Festival, and even during. We know that a lot of flights are already booked, accommodation is filled up. People still have that excitement from last year. So plans are on its way when it comes to the implementation of Carnival, and Ayodele and her team, I don't think they have gotten a chance to rest coming in from that massive World Choral Music Festival, having to go right into the Carnival.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so funny. We're talking about Carnival, and my mind is skipping ahead to jazz, just because I know that's how Dominicans seem to think. They just move from WCMF, they seem to skip Christmas, and they're on to Carnival, and they're already thinking ahead to jazz. So you're already looking ahead to that yourself?
Yes, we are already. Imagine, we're looking to implement Carnival, we're talking about jazz, and we're talking about World Choral Music Festival 2027 at the same time. So from my office, I have a lot of work to do in the next 4 weeks to make sure that some form of documentation can be presented where the jazz lineup is concerned and where the World Choral Music Festival lineup is concerned. So it is being discussed. It is a work in process, even from the higher ups and coming down. Recommendations are coming in when it comes to the type of jazz that we're going to have this year. So we're just excited to present and get approvals, and just give people a massive 2027. I think lots of things are going to happen for the destination in 2027.
2026?
In 2026, sorry. Oh my, I'm in
Yeah,
2027 already.
Yeah, that's
Lots
how
of
far
things
ahead
are
you
going
plan.
to happen. That's how advanced my brain is, Dion.
But
I'm
that's
already in 2027, but a lot of things are going to happen for the destination in 2026. So stay tuned.
Yeah, but we're looking ahead to Carnival. We're talking Queen Show. We're talking, Pretty Mass and all of that. I think some of the concerns I hear sometimes during the year is that we may not be attracting enough of the traditional aspect of our mass. I also know that is something that the DDA is conscious of,
Yes.
and tries to address every year. So what is your plan?
Yes, so we've always given attention to the traditional mass. Like every year, investments are made in the traditional aspect of the carnival. We understand that a lot more needs to be done, and we do have plans in place. One of the differentiators of our carnival is the carnival sensei. We've done our analysis and we've realized that you can have up to 10 different senses being displayed in our carnival. So we're planning for those things. For us, we want the stakeholders to continue to stick with us, because oftentimes the government invests quite a bit of funding in the traditional mass, especially for Juve and Carnival Monday and Tuesday, and sometimes some of our people, we don't show up. But let's give the carnival the same momentum and excitement that we give to the World Choral Music Festival, and let's show up for the traditional mass, because we come out in grand for the opening of the carnival. We give people a taste of what Dominica's carnival is going to present, but we want, when people actually come for the carnival, that traditional mass, the sensei, the black devils, even the kalinago, the lapo kabwit, the Siswell Sui, the big boom boom ladies, we're asking, to give the Mendes, the Carnival Monday and Tuesday, that opportunity to shine and flourish when it comes to the traditional mass. We are willing to put out the investment. We are willing to assist. We just need the implementers, the doers, the wearers of the costumes to come out in those large numbers and represent for Dominica's traditional mass.
Yes, you mentioned a while ago that the government invests a lot of money in the traditional mass aspect. Of course, earlier on you spoke about the huge investment in the WCMF. Speak to that level of government involvement in the work that you do.
Despite popular belief from certain niches, the government has always invested in the orange economy. And we can talk about the investment from way back. A few months ago, I heard an individual, adamant that nothing has never been done for Buyo in Dominica. And we don't even need to speak about Buyo having representation on the lineup every year. And more powerfully, this year, we can go to Carnival Sunrise, which is a product of DDA, and by extension, the government was developed in 2020 specifically for Buyo.
Yeah.
So there were two things. We recognized that nothing was being done for Buyo to express itself, and then the Carnival Friday was lacking. People were saying there's nothing, happening for them on Friday. So we married the two, and that is how Sunrise came about. So Sunrise is and will always be a Buyo event. The investment was strictly for Buyo, and it continues to this day. It is one of the signature events on the calendar. And extensive to Buyo, the traditional mass, we have always supported the traditional mass from the launch of the carnival to the national parade and the official opening to Monday and Tuesday. Like, this is a line item, part of the overall process when it comes to the carnival. And we've even went ahead and extended that support to the pretty mass, which is another major aspect of Dominica's carnival.
Mm-hmm. So as we come to the end of our program, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to look ahead with everything you do at Discover Dominica Authority, to look ahead and give us some closing remarks.
Well, I must say that in Dominica we are entering a new era when it comes to tourism. Our visitor arrivals are strong. We have successful festivals. We have this major Nature of Love campaign, and everything that we're doing, it is driving our brand. All the various niches, it is driving our brand, and it is redefining our focus when we speak about sustainability and sustaining growth and enhancing the product identity and ensuring that there are economic benefits for all. So Dominica has the potential to become the festival haven of the Caribbean. It has the potential to become this new, authentic, relatively unspoiled, undiscovered destination. But it takes all of us. When I walk on the streets of Roseau, I do not only want to hear Great World Choir Music Festival, I also want the local people to push the destination campaigns that we do, and more so the Nature of Love campaign. Share the video, share the word, and invite your friends and family overseas to enjoy Dominica now and in 2026. Yes.
Not 2027, right?
No, 27.
Well, into 2027.
Yeah.
We've been talking with Marva Williams, the Chief Executive Officer of the Discover Dominica Authority. It's been a solid hour of conversation. We're looking forward to invite the other officials at the DDA. They too are doing great work. People like Odile John Baptist, Monel Alexis. When you start naming names, you get in trouble. But you guys get the point. The dynamic people at the dynamic DDA. You're invited to tune in again to another edition of Focus on Government and Development. We're on every other Monday. We want to thank Marva Williams for being with us this evening. Marva, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dion, for having us. And yes, naming names is an issue, but I really want to say thank you to the team at Discover Dominica Authority. For the past couple months, we've really solidified what it means to be a team. For everything, we have all hands on deck, and then we look forward to, flourishing for the rest of the year and in 2026.
Of course.
Thank you.
We wish you the very best, you and your team at DDA, led by the dynamic Minister for Tourism, Honorable Denise Charles Pemberton.
That's
Yep. This has been our program. As I said, join us again every other Monday right here on your favorite radio station. We're on DBS, we're on Kyrie at 8 o'clock right now. We're on Q95, so tune in. Thank you so much for listening.
Want to stay in the know about what's really happening with your government? Then tune in to Focus on Government and Development every other Monday at 7 p.m. Your source for updates on government initiatives and the current affairs shaping our nation.